Hey guys, what's up? A little bit of an update here. I haven't done that update in a while, and I'm just gonna roll, no editing, none of that kind of stuff. So I just got back from Hawaii. I was away for 1 week. It was my 1-year wedding anniversary, and everything's good because everything is alive, nothing died. So last time when I went to Hawaii, my ATO kind of got jacked up, and it dumped too much water. Well, it didn't dump too much water, and I kind of put too much water in. Basically, I filled up my unit with so much water that it started a siphon once it went off, like a slow siphon, and my sump filled all the way up, you know, and my saline or my sodium got to like 1.20, and my pump was like, skimmer was going crazy, and you know, my sump was just nuts. So my friend who was taking care of the tank called someone else, and they took the water down and dumped salt into my tank, like pure salt from the, yeah, not like table salt or anything, but you know, salt to the tank from my garage, you know, and did that, and I had some losses in regards to corals. None of my fish died. I had a frog spawn that wasn't even affected. I had a large Montes that was up here, and it turned white, and now 1 year later, here it is. I moved it down here, and it colored back up maybe in about 1 or 2 months. Then by the time it colored up, I moved to metal halides and got rid of the LEDs, and Montes really don't like, they adjust a little bit slower than other things to light changes. So, but in any event, you know, it's been growing, and looks nice and healthy and so forth. So I had those losses. I also, I don't know if you can see here, I'll just try to focus like right in the center. So I had a Superman Montes like a year ago. It was on a frag plug, and it had died, and I removed the plug. Apparently like one little polyp, I guess, it's hard to see, one little polyp got on the rock. It's about a quarter size now. It's colored up, and you know, so that's cool. And kind of unrelated here, look at this Monte. It's a starburst Monte. I had it there kind of like in this little rock right in the center, kind of right here, and it wasn't doing so well, and I think it came undone or something like that and fell into my 8 cans and got jacked up. And I took the piece and I moved it to my frag rack. It fell off, it was shadowed, it turned black. I thought it was kind of dead, and it actually has color now, so I gotta learn my lesson, just kind of glue it back down. So, you know, if you have an SPS or something and it's looking really nasty, don't always give up on it. You know, you could move it or just not touch it and see what happens. And you know, it might take several months for it to kind of grow back, but they can be a little bit resilient. So what else? What about, so you know, when you buy SPS too, imagine, you know, someone has it in their tank, they show it online, you know, what you see, what you get, or they show the mother colony, it looks really good. They cut it, they send it to you, the color will look good, but you know, it's pretty normal that the color won't really last. You might put it in your tank, it might fade a little bit. I'm just kind of randomly moving the different corals here. But you know, the color will fade. It might take a while for it to color back up. Like I mentioned here before, this like tricolor Velita was like a very nasty brownish color, and it's lightened up a lot, and a lot of blue on the tips now. Kind of same with this one here. Also, you know, obviously, you know, it depends on your bulbs. So, but I'm going on all out of context. So you might get an SPS, it might look good, and within a couple weeks it might start fading and looking kind of nasty. Just be patient. It might take a while for it to color back up. Sometimes what you'll see with growth also, it might not do much, like this green guy here. So I've had this one for several months. It's probably about 1.5 inches, and it just started like really encrusting when I had it, and then kind of really hasn't done much. And you know, I bet you probably 2 weeks ago I noticed a little bit that was spilling off this frag plug onto this rock. I'm like, oh, it's spreading. And there's 2 pieces of like growth from that projecting out, you know, a couple millimeters, but I mean, I'm talking within probably about 2 weeks it did that, so that's pretty cool. So you might put it in your tank, it might not do nothing, and then I like this glow stick. It started encrusting, and finally it's getting some vertical growth. But I digress. So what am I using for bulbs here? The metal halides I switched out, and I have the metal halide T5s, and I'm very happy with those. You know, this is the Giesman Spectra fixture, and I'm actually running 10K bulbs, and they're like not Reef plus something plus bright or something like that. They're from Amazon. I think they cost $22 each. I'm pretty impressed by them, actually. You know, the 14Ks are great, a little bit of blue, or you know, everyone loves the radiums, but I decided I would go with 10Ks and get things kind of growing, and then, you know, after I'm happy with them, I'll switch over to the radiums. And you know, I have a set of radiums, and they make the corals look pretty cool. You know, it's a bluish color, you know, but I probably only ran them for like 3 weeks, and I decided to change. So I'm running those, and for the T5s I'm running 2 Giesman, 2 Giesman, they're just pure actinics, and 2 Blue Plus bulbs. So color-wise here, this just happened in a matter of, I bet you about maybe 2 weeks. I just noticed this before I went on vacation. Like the tips over here start getting a little bit like, I'm like, oh, they're getting a little bit white, and I come back from vacation and it's blue, so that's awesome. That is I think it's a Tubbs Mystic Blue Stag, and I got it from someone in my Reef Club, like on a San Antonio Facebook Reef Club, and I got it for $15 like back in May. It's September now, you know, so $15, that's great. It's cool also too, because in the Reef Club a lot of people are selling that for relatively cheap, or even big colonies. You know, if you have something, if you share it for, you know, like a good decent price, you know, and there's other people that sell polyps and whatnot, you know, $30 per polyp or whatnot, you know, or store prices, or, you know, but it's cooler if you can run into some people, or some people you can trade that you just want to trade just to trade and not rip each other off. But so yeah, that's what I'm doing for lighting. So I had a big rock here, and I removed it. I had a couple 8 cans on it, and I'm gonna make some room and put a clam there, and hopefully this trigger, I've known people with blue throat triggers and they keep clams, so hopefully things work out. But I had a rock here with some 8 cans, and all my 8 cans died. So I bought a file fish probably about 2 months ago because I was having some aptasia issues. He ate the aptasia, and then I noticed he was by one of my 8 cans. I'm like, oh, he's eating aptasia by my 8 can, and then noticed that 8 can wasn't doing so well, and I caught him red-handed. He was eating my 8 cans. He destroyed all of them, actually. He even, I think, nipped on some of my SPS, but I pulled them out before he could really do any damage to them. Like this guy, he was picking on, but I was able to catch him. I relocated him, and everything's good. So if you're gonna buy 8 cans, go to AustinAquafarms.com, They have some really good prices. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to replace them, but you know, if I were to, I'll go to that website. So what am I running down in the sump? This might not turn out too well. It's kind of dark down here. Still my Reef Life Support skimmer with all this nice gunk. My biopellet reactor, really impressed with that. I really need to clean that out though. And I'm not running GFO. My phosphates are undetectable. They have been for a while. I noticed when I had my fish food timer on and I was dosing pellets, my phosphates would rise, but I'm not doing that. I just feed like frozen brine, frozen mysis and Rod's food. And I also made some live food a while ago, or frozen food that I feed the tank with. With the bio pellets, my nitrates, they were running at about like 2, which is fine, and they've been running 0 for probably a couple months. So I feed a little bit more, you know, like every other day I'll put oyster feast in or some reef roids, you know, just kind of broadcast feed. And I don't want to starve everything out, but so that's what I do. I don't run GFO. I took that off a while ago. I'm using Vertex pellets, bio pellets. And the thing with the bio pellets also, I'm sorry, I can't really get close shots with this camera. It doesn't really focus well. With the bio pellets, if you put them in, you're not going to see really a reduction really fast. I guess you could, you know, pour some, here's my bird's nest. I love this one, nice and pink. The reduction for me,